If you haven't had an opportunity to watch the latest episode of The Walking Dead, stop listening now. Major spoilers, here we go. Tonight's episode was called Crossed. The group is spread thin, with some members holding down the church and the other members on a rescue mission. Before we begin, let's go ahead and just identify where each member of The Walking Dead is, okay? We have 4 groups. The first group, Rick, Daryl, Tyrese, Noah, and Sasha. This will make sense, as I continue on with this podcast review, but just bear with me. The next group, Michonne, Carl, Judith, and the preacher, whoever his name is. I keep on forgetting his name. Maybe Gabriel. That sounds good. Maggie, Glenn, Abraham, Rosita, Eugene, and Tara. That's another group. Beth and Carol. That's the last group. 4 groups in total. They all have a different look on life. They're all in different locations. 2 groups, the Rick group and the Beth group, they're trying to get to each other, okay? Beth and Carol, obviously, they're stuck inside of that psycho, sadistic, twisted hospital that's in the middle of Atlanta, okay? And under the authority of Dawn. And Dawn is just this crazy character, almost like Rick, or what we thought was like Rick, except she's not. She's really, I guess you can say she's hard on the outside, soft on the inside. Says she has that, chewy, gooey middle. I don't know if that's nice to say, but you understand what I mean when I say that. So we're going to talk about group number 1, and I got notes here. That's what you hear flipping through. Let's talk about these first, okay? I'm going to talk about Beth and Carol. I'm just going to break them down because that's the easiest group to get through. Beth is still trapped inside of the hospital. Carol is still injured, and she's now living in the hospital for survival. There is a police officer that comes up to Dawn. He says to her that we're wasting electricity and energy. The girl that they brought in, the girl meaning Carol that they brought in, is not... She was injured when they brought her in, and now she's kind of like wasting away on life support, okay? So Beth tries to stand up to Dawn and the police officer by kind of coming up with this excuse of, how much energy are you wasting? This girl's important, give her a chance. Well, the Dawn, she says, take Carol off of life support because pretty much, you're not respecting my authority. And then after that, they take Carol off of life support. Dawn gives Beth the keys to the medicine cabinet, which is kind of strange. But the reason why she said it, she says, I thought that you were weak. I thought that you were weak, but you proved me wrong. Now, here's a chance for you to help rescue your friend or whatever. And then she makes a distraction using this old guy who pretends to have a heart attack. And she pays him by giving him strawberries. Once Beth gives the old man strawberries, he goes, oh, my heart, my diabetes. And he falls on the ground. And all the people and the paramedics and all that stuff from the hospital, they come in, they try to help him out. And they, a good distraction. She gets the medication. And then after that, she takes it to Carol's room. She injects her. How does she get the medication? She gets the medication by going to ask the doctor from the previous episodes, the doctor that killed the other smart doctor, to survive, if that makes any sense. I forgot his name, but that's who he is. And he said something too. He said, did Dawn give you the keys? If Dawn gave you the keys, it's not because she's trying to be nice to you. It has something else. He was about to say something, and then Beth cut the doctor off. So there's some kind of terms that Dawn is going to probably bring up next episode on the mid-season finale, because I guess nothing in this life is free anymore. Okay, you can't save anybody, or I can't put my life on the line for you. I have to get something out of it, okay? So, anyway, Beth is holding Carol's hand, and then we're just waiting for Rick and the gang to arrive. Now, moving over. We're going to go over to the Michonne group, which is Michonne, Carl, Judith, and the preacher. The reason why Michonne, Carl, Judith, and the preacher are together is because Rick, Daryl, Tyrese, Noah, and Sasha went into Atlanta, and they are going to go on the rescue mission to save Beth and Carol. The preacher is left there, and he's kind of going insane. He's kind of going crazy. The first thing that you notice is that he starts scratching on the floor where there's a lot of blood marks, man. I think the reason behind it is because everything is kind of falling apart around him. And let me back up to kind of explain that and justify that. when Daryl and Noah come back to the group, okay, they return to the group. They explain the situation to Rick. They don't show you this on camera. They just kind of show the group pretty much tearing and destroying the church. Okay, they're taking down the cross. They're making weapons out of everything. They're breaking the pews. They're using any type of object they can for weapons. All right, the preacher is like, what am I supposed to do? I don't know. I'm kind of panicking a little bit. The only thing that's left on the church, the cross is gone. It's just a building now. The cross is gone. The pews are gone. There's a couple of things left for Judith and Carl and Michonne to kind of sleep with and use, but other than that, everything's gone. The only thing that remains is "You'll burn in hell for what you did." That was kind of carved on the wall, and then Carl goes up to the preacher and he says, "Listen, man, if you're going to stay here with us and you want to be part of the group, you need to learn how to defend yourself." And then he kind of explains to the preacher, how to kill a little bit and how to defend yourself. The preacher selects a weapon. Even before Carl actually gives him the opportunity, he chooses a machete. And then Carl says, good selection, good choice. It's really good for whatever. Anyway, the preacher goes and locks himself inside of his office or his room or whatever. Michonne kind of gets worried. She goes to check on him, and then she kind of explains to him that everything that the group does is for a reason. They don't just kill just to kill. It's for a reason. Everything will work out in the end. The preacher closes the door on Michonne after he says, "I'll be all right. I just need time alone," or whatever. He closes the door. He starts breaking down the wood on the floor, removing the wood pallet that is on the floor, removing the floor pretty much to crawl underneath the church and escape. As he's crawling out, he hurts and injures his foot because he steps on the nail. And then after that, he starts walking and hobbling into the woods. He gets attacked by this walker that's like this random walker that's in the woods outside of the church. And he pretty much, man, like body slams her on the ground, and a piece of wood rips through the walker's stomach, and the camera zooms in on the walker. It's wearing a cross. So, that kind of is the understanding that that's a part of his flock, his congregation, that he had told that story, that he kind of set them up and pretty much either fed them to Gareth's group, or he ended up, killing them or locking them in there. Something happened. What I believe is that, he did give them to Gareth's group. Gareth didn't finish them off. The ones that are alive, that are walking around, are just the ones that, ended up dying. And then now they're just walkers. That's what I kind of believe on that one. But you can kind of see why he's freaking out a little bit. I don't know if he's trying to lure more walkers into the church and kill Michonne and them. I don't know about that. But he is on the run right now. We don't know where he's going. Moving over real quick to Maggie, Glenn, Abraham, Rosita, Eugene, and Tara. This is going to be really, really easy. Abraham is still on the ground. He's still out of it. He doesn't want to, survive. He doesn't want to move on because Eugene had lied. He knocked Eugene unconscious. Eugene stays unconscious the entire episode until right at the end, and he wakes up and he says hello. That's pretty much what the whole group was waiting on, to see if Eugene was alive or not, or if he could wake himself up on his own. If he couldn't wake himself up on his own, then Maggie would have to kill him, or Abraham would have to kill him, or somebody would have to kill him. But he wakes up. Abraham also wakes up, I guess you can say, out of his little slump, his little angry spasm, and he starts drinking water. Maggie is the one that kind of cares for Eugene and Abraham. Maggie tells Eugene, grow up, get out of it, get out of your funk. We've all lost a person, a loved one. Get over it. We have to survive. We have to move on. There's still a mission. The mission now is just survival. Glenn, Tara, and Rosita, they go and they try to, find supplies, and pretty much the supply is water. They've run out of water. They come up to a lake or a stream, and then Rosita has an opportunity to, be the best character that she is, the great female character that she is, and she kind of shows them that, she's useful. She's able to make a makeshift water purification system out of a bottle and some dirt and some rags. And she kind of tells the story how Eugene taught them all these things, and then that's how, they met up. And then she tells a story about her and Abraham, how they met up. She was with a group before, and the group was pretty good. She just went with Eugene and Abraham because, they kind of, told her or let her know that she was, more than what she was with the group, and then they went with her. There was fish that were inside of the water, which I was surprised at. Glenn goes fishing with Tara, and then they pick up the fish, and then they head back. And instead of, how do you want to say it? Instead of looking down on the situation, they don't look anywhere near the farm with all those thousands and hundreds of billions of walkers. Glenn says, don't even look that way. Let's go the other way. So Glenn and Tara and Eugene and Maggie and Rosita, they're all heading back towards the group. They're going to walk the opposite direction and not even try to, entertain the other stuff. What was kind of funny is that Tara found a yo-yo. Out of all things, she found a yo-yo that was in a pack of these, it looks like power line walkers. It was like walkers that were either working on the power line or just the power line gave way and fell on them. They were stuck there, man. So it's kind of weird to see, but they used the power line walkers fishnets that were inside of their pockets. They cut their pockets, sewed them together, and that's how they were able to fish and get some food for the group. And yeah, that's kind of cool, man. I'm going to end right there because the next one's going to take probably at least 7 minutes to talk about. I'm out here, guys. Thanks again for watching and listening. Yeah, let me know what you thought.